And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
On first down, Keenum. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
The speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
A handoff. It's Murray. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They go with Murray again. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Keenum. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. More from Minneapolis after this. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Back to the ground game. Here's Murray. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Keenum now on first down. Flushed out right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. And we got a second here. Let's look at the playoff picture in the NFC, Charles. What's interesting is you've got 3 teams from the NFC South that would be in right now if the season ended today, but they're not the top team.
No, they're not the top team because the top team is unquestionably, in my mind, the Philadelphia Eagles at 10-1. Doing it on both sides of the ball, special teams. I think they can play any style of game any team wants to present. But when you start jumbling up everyone else, this is going to be fun over the next few weeks because they're all going to essentially play each other. You mentioned the NFC South. All those teams have to do battle. This is going to be a lot of fun. In fact, I think the Panthers end up going to the Saints in a week or two. So this is going to be crazy.
Kyle Rudolph, the tight end, in motion. They go back to Murray on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Here we go now. No. Here we go. Leopard.
Kyle Rudolph, the tight end, in motion. 10th carry of the game now. Murray. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, now look at Leopard. Gone. Leopard. Gone. 36. Hurry up. Here we go. Green, 39.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jerick McKinnon, 14 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Forbath out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. Bortles now on first down. It's caught right side, it turns. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Second down now after the pass completion. Shotgun now for Bortles. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. The final shot before half for Keenum. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Kyle Rudolph, the tight end, in motion. The final shot before the break. Keenum going deep for Diggs. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Stephon Diggs as time expires in the first half. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Flush to his right. He's going to let this go deep. Back over. He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
That was second down run for Murray. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Play clock winding down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Here's Ryan Quigley now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Here's Ryan Quigley now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is brought in at the 21. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense. First down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy that can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. Wide open receiver complete. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the fourth. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And Leonard Fournette impressing there with that run. It's hard to believe that no Jacksonville Jaguar has broken 1,000 yards since Maurice Jones-Drew in 2011. I think Leonard Fournette could be that guy.
Even with the ankle injury last year at LSU, still averaged 6.5 yards per carry.
And absolutely intimidated opposing defenses. A lot of guys simply didn't want to tackle him.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. Now Leonard Fournette, and not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. On the run, it's Fournette. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
A running play now for Ivory. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always...
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Chris Ivory taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Time running out here on the play clock. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. They'll run it now out of the gun. Always got some breathing room. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now a give, left side. This is Murray. Room here to run. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They run again with Murray. He's seen a ton of action tonight. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. The Vikings on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Here's Ryan Quigley now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded inside the 5. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. The ball comes out. And this one's going to go out of bounds. So no recovery, but on 4th down, a change of possession anyway.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is... And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.